I really like this one. Very, very good job. So, I haven't really figured out on this tripod stand, like, the stem goes up and down, the middle stem goes up and down pretty easy. I've been looking to see if there was kind of like a lock to kind of lock it in place, but, you know, whatever. Damn it, man. And yes, I washed my face and I moisturized, so it's definitely not that. And I don't dabble, if you get me. I had to kind of get myself into the groove this morning, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Yeah, it took a minute, though, to start the engine, the mental engine. And I was taking the, you know, and I was like, come on, we gotta get in gear, you know. I've had some stuff that kind of threw my chakra off and threw my balance off a little bit mentally. And, you know, it just, I hate getting to that point with other people because it just, it makes me feel like a nasty person inside because I want to be so rawr, you know. But, and then, like, the aftermath of it, like, I call them hangovers, mental hangovers, to where you just feel like, oh, no matter what you do, you just can't get into the loop. You can't get into, you know, your normal routine. It's just like you're trying to start that mental engine. It's just like, come on, bitch, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get her done. And that's kind of where I've been lately. Yes, I'm grounded, but, you know, these things tend to happen sometimes. But, we are going to pick up on triggers for our first episode of our first topic of the morning. See, trying to unfog the mind. You know, I took a little moment and, you know, I've been at this and, you know, maybe I've taken a day or two or a couple of days or whatever here and there. And, you know, I know persistence is key, but, you know, the mind can get overwhelming if you just run it and run it and run it. You know, you gotta give your mind a break once in a while. You gotta kind of like, okay, it's time to, you know, whoosah. And so I kind of took my first VK and, you know, made 2 talk shows and then, you know, didn't take no time, no breather. You know, it was either every morning, every other morning, every couple of days. You know, it was like I was hustling, you know. But, and I was slaying, but I finally just said, my brain was like, you need to take a beat. And I did, and then I talked to one of my best friends, and she's like, you need it. She's like, I've watched your videos, I've watched all your content, you're just going. You need to take a beat. And that's when I was like, I knew I did the right thing, because one person can only do so much. And, you know, before they're just wiped out. So I took a beat, and it was nice. It had its ups and downs, but for the most part, it was pretty nice. I'm wearing my hat to hopefully keep the sun out of my eyes, and I'm noticing that damn Mainer stuff is starting to come out a little more here and there. Sometimes I'm talking like me, Rebel, and then sometimes I can hear it creeping out. Anyways, we're gonna talk about triggers for our first topic. And, number 1, I'm gonna say mine. Not being able to communicate with another due to a nasty attitude with every little thing that you say or ask or whatever the case may be. That's just more or less like a deterrent. It's like, never mind. Ho guys is the way I put it, you know. there's men out there who appreciate women and would appreciate women's values. There it is. And everything that they bring to the table. Of course, men is going to notice drama as much as a woman is going to notice drama. Maybe not so much on sometimes, but, you know, that's a give and take. But you do got them ones, you know. But, you know, all power to them. They're just not ready to hit that lane yet. They just want to live their life to the fullest and go balls to the walls. And, you know, we really can't judge them for that because we've had our times where we've wanted to be in that zone. So, bullies. There is no explanation for that. I'm not going to, like, explain anything beyond that. Just in general. One of my biggest pet peeves is bullies. Now I can bitch at somebody or I can get in somebody's shit or blah 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 yada yada. You know, and when I say blah blah blah, I'm just saying you get the gist. That's basically what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But there's a difference between bullying and making a point for sure. Like that phrase, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Narcissists. Someone whom claims or acts as if their traumas are a contest and they win because they've been through more than you, and being offensive with every little thing you say. I like people who are open-minded. And I guess it went out for a reason, right? Number 6, groomers, takers, and pick-me bitches. An independent woman, somebody that holds her own for the most part, and stands her grounds and stands behind everything they believe in and everything that they're of, is more self-rewarding than just being the one that's been picked, because women these days like to analyze people that they're around, not just immediately insert yourself into that lane, not knowing what you're getting yourself into, fully blinded. So in that aspect, you know, what are your triggers? What are 6 triggers that you have that will stay with you for all time, no matter what? Now I'm gonna have a couple of videos coming at you this morning, and to make up for the lacking. Hey, that's a good picture. I'm gonna screenshot that when I watch this. But anyways, our second and last topic for this video is going to be viewing. Well, remote viewing part 2, because I have the first one on Courage Haven talk show. So, and but I'm trying to devote my time to Diva's Den because I gotta get those videos out there. I've been slacking, I know. You know, just like Tea Time, they put out, I think it's like a video a week or something like that. And, but, you know, times get tricky. What's up? All jokes aside, this is viewing. Everyone senses things just in conversation, and sometimes they may say something that may come off wrong. But usually it's not at all how one takes it, or you talking in a general sense, and they automatically assume you are talking about them, due to them feeling some sort of way. We learn each other and new stuff about one another every single day. And just because you have a disagreement, if that friendship matters and means anything, you just give each other's time to breathe and each other's time to cool off or walk away. But once you choose that, could show that it was too easy to walk, which can make you question the whole friendship. Now, I will touch up on that a little bit, because there are people out there who will be like, Can you say that again? No, but I can elaborate on it. You have your true ride or dies. Your true, real friends. And those people who feel that they know you inside and out, they don't have to be like, oh, I know this about you, I know that about you, I know this, I know that. They don't have to do that. Because they're not trying to, it's not a contest to them. They're not trying to get clout. They're not trying to, come off some sort of way. Or think that they're gonna get some, out of being friends with me, or whatever the case may be. They're gonna be the quiet ones. They're gonna be the ones that don't talk a whole lot, because they're gonna be thinking in their mind, this bitch is off her chain because she don't know what she's talking about. But we're not gonna say anything, because everybody's entitled to their opinions, right? Or everybody has their own views. But there's a fine line to that, because depending on what you say could depend on the outcome of the situation. And maybe the person that you're speaking of doesn't pop off, and they're trying to be the peacemaker. That doesn't say that her friends aren't going to. Or his friends ain't going to. So, they're quiet for the most part about a lot of things. They let you talk your shit, because they know that you talking your shit, you're gonna dig your own hole. They don't have to help you. You're gonna do it yourself. And then when you're making videos and you're making content, when they're getting their own perception of the whole situation, or the whole person, or whatever, the whole context of, and you're making videos and it's not about them, you're talking in general, talking about people like what you're saying, and then they automatically think that the video's about them and that you're talking shit about them, and it just spirals out of control. First of all, that's no way to be, and if you're thinking like that, you need to look in the mirror and you need to figure out what's eating you up inside, and you need to resolve that, because taking your anger and frustrations out on somebody else is not how you handle it at all. I've done it. I'm not saying I haven't, but then again, that just proves that I'm not perfect. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has snapping points. But getting you to that point, if somebody can actually get you there quickly, there's a problem. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, well, in a few minutes, when I put out the next video, live your life to the fullest and treat people right.